planting fortnight starts in 3 weeks' time. 25 schools will be bringing children to the wood to plant their trees, and today at the lights we are hammering out labels which will become the labels that hang on the trees telling us which tree belongs to which school. And we also have members of the community here who will be coming up to plant their own tree, and they're hammering out family labels.
I think the Andover Trees United project here at Harmony Wood is really important because it gets the children involved in learning about the environment. I think the legacy would be brilliant because the children will be able to come back in the future and show their children that they planted this wood.
I think a project like this is really important for our children growing up in the world that they live in today, so that they can see what impact that they can have on the wider world and the environment.
So that's a tree in the ground. You might find that on your tree you've got a tag like this. So we're going to put the spiral guide around the bottom, around the stick and the tree. And what we're going to do is just make sure that that's nice and level.
I think the children who very often might be sat in front of a television or an iPad get to be out in the woodland, out in nature, and to be able to enjoy their surroundings. When we get back to school, there will be all sorts of follow-up work that we can do. The children at our school are very keen to be eco-warriors, so they can do things like biodiversity studies, but they can also do lots of other things, such as a longitudinal study as well.
It's important to plant trees because deforestation is #1 cause of global warming.
The impact of deforestation spreads wider than global warming and impacts all of the animals.
I've had a really nice day today, and I think I'm making a contribution effect on the environment, and the weather's been really lovely today.
think it's important for children to have knowledge about the outdoors and knowledge about navigation and orienteering, because we live in a world now which is about social media and mobile phones and heavy reliance on technology. So I think the opportunity for children and young people to spend time in nature, in the outdoors, connecting with one another and learning skills such as navigation and using compasses is really important.
James has planned lots of different activities, all helping the children to learn how to use a compass. Also that they are aware geographically where they are. So he started off getting them to run north, so then where would south be? Keeping them warm, making it fun, but that they are confident using the compass in pairs.
And wait till the red thing. No, it's not. Thousands that way.
Moving around in the meadow, being aware of the trees. They will also be looking at finding the different plaques that we've hidden within Harmony Woods.
Going on an adventure. So you feel like you've had an adventure today? Yeah. That's excellent.
What we're trying to do really is just get the school children who are coming a really good go at seeing what real digging is like. So we're getting them on the site, getting them troweling. It's been really hot, very baked soil, and in a way this week, and it is just a week, is really about getting them to do that rather than really getting into the archaeology, which would be lovely, but it's the process above the actual end product of what we find in terms of the archaeology, I think, this year.
I think the impact of a day like today is that it brings the learning to life for the children, for the topic they've been looking at, and helps them have a real experience of a difficult concept to understand. This term we've been looking at the Bronze Age, Stone Age and Iron Age as our main topic, so we've had a lot of looking at research and as much evidence as they can access through different mediums and things like that.
which, as its name suggests, feeds on privet. It's one of our bigger hawk moths. That one is a poplar hawk moth, which again is aptly named because it feeds on poplars.
Shall I give you a clue? The comma is called a comma because of the comma that's on its wings.
Yeah, I put it on there.
and we both want to wish you all a happy Roots and Shoots International Peace Day. I was so happy to hear that the town of Andover is hosting the parade this year. And I especially want to thank the Andover Trees United team and all the volunteers for organising this special day. And too, I want to thank the amazing Roots and Shoots schools, the teachers and all of you young people involved in making the doves and helping to spread the important message of peace. And I want to thank the Lord Lieutenant's office and the town's officials for all the support and understanding. A special thank you goes to Wendy Davis. Wendy, you've been such a great supporter of Roots and Shoots, and you've been tirelessly spreading the message for years. So, thank you. This International Peace Day is very special for me because it helps us to remember that we're part of an amazing world. It helps us to think how we need to respect the other animals with whom we share the planet, to respect the environment, and to respect each other. It helps us to remember that whatever the color of our skin, whatever our nationality, our religion, our culture, we are all human beings. We're all part of one family. That's one of the main messages of Roots and Shoots. Think about that on this special day. Know that I'll be in New York, the United Nations, for the International Peace Day celebration, the ringing of the bell, and I'll be thinking of you. Have a wonderful day. Think about peace. Dream about peace. Work to make peace happen. And have fun. Bye.
our regular weekly work day, which at the moment is on a Monday, and we start work at 10, often with a cup of coffee, and we go on till 1 o'clock. There's a variety of tasks. Today the volunteers are digging up tree whips, so that this is about the last chance we get this year to put them in their final place in the ground. But that task will change across the year. Some of the work days are on the allotment, where we look after trees and grow wildflowers. Some of them are in Jonathan's Wood, where we learn hazel coppicing and take out products and make things with them.
I got involved with Andover Trees United because I saw them at a Vigo Park display, and I thought this was a great thing. I've always been interested in trees. I've been involved with natural history projects, mainly bird watching, over the years, and I've always loved trees, their size and their shape and the beauty of them, and they seem to be doing some useful work, particularly with the community and with schools, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get involved with this. I just love coming up to Harmony Woods because it's so peaceful up here and out in the open space, the fresh air, and seeing all these little young trees, all masses of them, growing up. And we were just saying spring is coming and they're just all beginning to shoot and the leaves coming out. It's just such a joy to be here. It's very peaceful and rewarding.
The Andover Shoots.
Makes helping to make the world a better place.
So please welcome Dr. Jane Goodall.
And I hope that the students who were presenting had a chance to look at all of the presentations that were around the room and got inspired, because I think it's when young people get together, they inspire each other, and that gives extra strength so you can work even harder. And people often say to me, Jane, how do you find the strength to carry on? Because, you know, in a couple of weeks I'll be 85. And people say to me, Jane, do you really have hope for the future? Because what have I seen? I've seen forests across Africa and Asia and Latin America destroyed. I've seen populations grow and move further and further into the natural world. I've seen the terrible pollution of air, water and land. I've seen the oceans covered in plastic. And I've seen so many animal species either gone forever or very, very endangered today. And so people say, well, do you really have hope? And I think all those people who say, do you really have hope? If they'd been here today, if they'd had a chance to speak to the young people of Roots and Shoots, they would understand exactly why I have hope for the future. So thank you, everybody. Until next year.
Today is a first visit to a mature woodland, so we are doing activities with them that engage them with the signs of spring. We're getting them to look at what signs of spring they can see. We're going to be getting them to do some bird nest building, and we're also going to be getting them to use their senses within that mature woodland.
2.
Excellent, right, we can't see. We're going to go round to the left, forwards, forwards. And that's it, lovely. Ooh, round. Do birds just sing in the springtime? No, they do sing all the year round, don't they? See if you can find one. Careful with your feet on the ground. Hi. So that's why. Oh dear. Cowslip. Okay, we're going to find out why it's called a cowslip at the end.
We'll bring it to show you. But until yesterday, it was stuck to the basket. So I had to bring the basket because they each need their own nest. And I was wondering whether you would build them each.
So what have you decided? Probably's going to be like maybe we could
Lovely. Now, if we were going to improve this nest, what do you think we might need to do? Is he going to